know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, now I gotta roll with ice. All these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die.
All the OGs are washed, so we had to take charge and grow up. Back then they were never showing love, search them up, they ain't showing up. I could never cope with tugs, car low-key, they never wanna know what's up. Just rolling funds, O's and snubs, couldn't care less about hope and love. Ain't no one ever put me on. Cop the work, chop the work, no guidance. Who inspired us? Bunch of rappers and violent nihilists. From young we protected our pride like a lioness. With our naive piousness, dropped a few out, brought a few in, and formed the family with the finalists. And it's hard to say where it started, but it's easy to point out it started somewhere. And I know it's unclear why life's been unfair. I'm here still striving, trying till I've gone clear from here, and I won't stop till I'm top tier. Can someone ring the bell? I'm getting off here. All the OGs are washed, so we had to take charge and grow up. Back then they were never showing love, search them up, they ain't showing up. I can never cope with tugs, car low-key, they never wanna know what's up. Just rolling funds, O's and snubs, couldn't care less about hope and love. If we're both on roads with no hope, then no, I ain't finna jump off with you nerds. My spirit's a true curse, questioning myself like when will you learn? We throw every box we tick it, but no box get a ticket. Gee, I got a P1 but I can't tick it, bring me the change in exchange for this ticket. We be in the burbs, no blocks, dubs got loud, I ain't running no crops. Glad that I ain't gotta swerve no cops, kinda pen ain't something that I wanna know of. We be in the burbs, no flats, folks got loud, I ain't running no packs. Glad that I ain't gotta serve no cats, kinda roads ain't something that I wanna romance. All the OGs are washed, so we had to take charge and grow up. Back then they were never showing love, search them up, they ain't showing up. I can never cope with tugs, car low-key, they never wanna know what's up. Just rolling funds, O's and snubs, couldn't care less about hope and love. can feel my time coming, but I don't know whether it's success or death. Regardless of its characteristics, I still fear what's next. Though I remind my mind that a calm breath will help with the impending process. Oh Lord, I don't know whether you're there, wherever the heaven or hell there is. Frequently peacocked, but often maxed in all black, for neither a certain weather or season. He that is with principle among you cast a glock at the heathen. I struggle with breathing, alas, put an end to this feeling. My life's a comedy and the jokes are the days I live. The stage is lit well, so the audience can gander who the failure is. Blade in my fist, blade in my wrist, ain't nothing safe in my ribs. Even the memories of those past happen to fade and drift. Blade in my fist, blade in my wrist, ain't nothing safe in my ribs. Even the memories of those past happen to fade and drift. R.I.P. Social. Yeah, man. Hold that to your chest. Or your neck, better yet your head. Yeah, me have to run the hunger back. So if I'm on you, there ain't no coming back. This here for the bleachers, T bumping through the speakers, too heavy for tinnitus. I spit crack in every verse and each feature. Finna change my occupation to Beverly drug dealer. Jay's Louise got the fiends purring on the YouTube for some new views of that screw loose gorilla. TA here, killer, sauce spiller, ain't nobody triller. My jigger, Tesla, move like a fugitive discreet. You a newbie, must be new to this, I'm true to this indeed. Got a bone to pick, I'm holding clips, don't truant from the streets. You man are gangster for certain, so be fluent with your speech. Do not sleep on me, I'm telling you innit. Brown boy wavy, you get me? I'm coming through T looking like Patrick Swayze. Your gal one day, and I know low-key you rate me, boy. You can find me in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood. You can find me in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood. You can find me in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood. You can find me in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood. Man, a thumping T straight out the whip. Feds gotta pull him over, car sound like a brick. Yeah, I'm crack, baby. Yeah, I'm crack. Yeah, I'm back, baby. Address me as pilot car, I'm a Highlander. And with a sword in my left, but I'm a right-hander. Check my spirit, I'm a linebacker. T-killer bystander. Brown boy with a beard, might be a hijacker. Grip a bally if you're coming for my guap. Barefaced if you finna make me drop. Yeah, look me in the eyes. Grip a bally if you're coming for my guap. Swing a lasso if you finna make me drop. Do not ever sleep on Kevin, boy. You get me? You walla. This is Beverly, this is East Hill, and I swear to God this is just the start. I swear to God, all my days. You can find me in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood, I'm in the cut like blood. You can find me in the cut like blood.
What is up, everybody? That guy Fly here, hanging out at this is Hot Topics of FPV. No more Destination FPV. This is Hot Topics of FPV, where we go live and hang out with people from the community. Some you know, some you don't know. And watch some of your guys' videos and whatnot. So I see a lot of you guys are jumping in already. Got some subs coming in. Thank you, subs. All you new subs and everybody else that's coming in. What do we got here? All right, so tonight is going to be an awesome night. Tonight we have the one and only Mr. Jeff Grabowski, a.k.a. Zotek FPV, a.k.a. the man of We Bleed, is going to be live with us. Get him on here in just a second. I see him in the back end. He's getting his stuff together, so I'm going to let him get his stuff together here. But yes, I'm really excited. We're going to have a one-on-one interview. I'm going to get down and deep into him and why he does what he does and why he loves this hobby so goddamn much. But But yes, I cannot wait for that. But let me see where he's at here. Go ahead and pop him in. Yo, buddy, are you ready? Oh, he's back there. He's still back there. He'll be ready in just a sec. I think he's coming now. What is up, brother? What is up?
Hello.
Hello, testing 1 2. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Beautiful. We can hear you too. How you doing, brother? How you doing this evening?
I am doing wonderful.
Great.
I am doing wonderful. Big shout out to everybody. Thanks for joining. I'm Zotek. We breed.
Zotek. So we had a little conversation about what we do here on the live stream beforehand. There's a lot of guys in the stream that know you. I see some new faces that I know you brought in, and there's a lot of guys that don't know who you are. So tell us, man, for those that don't know who you are, tell us, who is Zotek?
That's great. Who is Zotek?
He's like, who is Zotek?
Who's Zotek? Zotek is of course, my real name is Jeff Grabowski. I came across FPV in 2018, and got to give mad props to my boy Errant Wind, actually, who say Andrea brought Errant Wind in to FPV, and Sal brought me in. So that was like 2018. So that was pretty awesome. So, but yeah, like who Jeff Grabowski is, New York City boy, born in
New York.
New York, what's up? Lived down there up till I was, 24, 25, and kind of went to college up here in upstate New York. So right now, currently live in upstate New York, central New York, definitely Syracuse, that is. So it's centralized. And just college-wise, and just, man, I just fell in love with the woods and the wide open, different environment from New York City. Living in the streets, little, it's rough.
Oh yeah.
Always got to look over your shoulder, and you never know what's going to be lurking.
Yeah, I got a little sample of what Syracuse is about a couple years ago. So definitely a different vibe.
A totally different.
Yeah,
vibe,
so different. Yeah,
the cost of living is huge, and that for me, I didn't want to be still living with my parents, and a lot of my childhood friends were still living with their parents in their late 20s and 30s. It's just so expensive. So I was like, man, I could just get a good paying job and buy my own crib and just have at it. So but the name Zotek actually came from a job. Like, I worked with a company actually up here in this region, and it was Zotek Medical. And it was always my original gamer tag was IO Burn, so that was my gamer tag. So Zotek it just sounded like Zotek Medical, and
it's a good name.
It always stuck with me. Yeah,
it's a good name. It's a good name for FPV. It worked out great.
And I
so
used it for gaming too. So just like anytime you'll come across a game and you'll see Zotek, that's probably me. So I'm a big gamer. I love games too, and FPV was like. I'm probably going to date myself here for some of you guys out there, but I grew up on slot cars. I know slot cars.
my
dad was like an avid slot car guy, and he would take me around like to New York and New Jersey and just all over to these tracks and race.
All the tracks, yeah.
So as a kid growing up, I was like competitive in the essence of like racing, like these little slot cars. It's they sit on a track and got a little joystick, and you're like it was great. We customized them, changed up the wheels, and did tricks to them to make them faster and grippier to the track. And then FPV came around, and it was just like, man, this was like what. This was like the rebirth, because it's something I truly missed. Slot cars is around, but it's not a dominant hobby. And this was just, I was going through some troubling times back in 2018 was probably when Sal, my boy Errant Wind, came over and was like, yo, man. And he was bugging me for a good year. He was like, you got to put these goggles on. You got to come hang out with me. And I Sal and I, we were Bitcoin bros. So 2011, like 2012 is when Sal and I started dabbing in Bitcoin. So I actually started We Bleed off of mining Bitcoins, and the little stash that I had left was how I started We Bleed. So there's a little, some.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's awesome, it's just crazy. But how it all intertwines, and like who I am, and just just a normal city kid, went to college for sport business management, got a computer applications minor, and my family's all they're all in sales, so and it kind of stuck, with my upbringing. And my grandfather was in the garment industry in New York City selling belts and clothes and so forth, so I kind of got to see that firsthand of how to mingle and to communicate, just to kind of have fun, and just be yourself. And and I just that all stuck with me. And my grandfather's the craziest thing. Anytime you buy and get an order from us, I'll always write you a personal note. That was my grandfather always saying. He was like, Jeff Tiger. He always called me Tiger. He was like, always thank everybody. Write them a personal note, and it'll go a long way. And it always stuck with me. And God bless my grandfather. He's no longer here with us, but he definitely left a good mark. And I thank him every day for those opportunities and those upbringings. And my dad was pretty, his nickname was Mr. Freeze. So he was a cool dude. He's still here. He's just, I got my family to move up from New York City to come hang out and help out with the family and stuff. So,
great,
it's a little something about me,
Nice. So let me ask, because a lot of people want to know why for you, why micros? What makes them so special to you that you bleed FPV, but specifically in the micro game?
The micro game. Well, there's two parts to that. One, I'm not a tinker kind of guy. That's the one thing I do lack. And,
okay.
So my the learning curve for me was like, oh wow, this is really difficult. This is really challenging. My first month, I probably dropped like $7,000 in a bunch of those 5 inches right up there. And I probably used them maybe half a dozen times. And it didn't really connect with me, which is crazy. I mean, I love the feel of flight and to go explore and go places that you wouldn't normally be able to go. But I just felt like they were just, it didn't really fit me. I was a slot car guy. Like these little micro, it fit well. And it was easier for me to be like, oh man, if I'm going to go out and spend, $7,000 in 1 month, and I could spend like, back then it was like maybe $7, $70 for bind and fly. It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it was cheap. It definitely cheap.
It wasn't. Yeah.
It definitely was cheap. Oh, it's different now. I mean, I remember a time, $500 would get you quite a bit in the micro game. It'd get you a few get you a few bind and flies, even a transmitter if you wanted back then. So all day long. I miss those days. I really do miss those days. So I'm not
those days. It was awesome. I mean, I still, as we grow and progress, the passion does like die down a little bit, and you kind of have to spark it up once in a while. I mean, I'm invested into the community, I'm invested into the company, and so there's more of like I have that internal spark going. But I've seen a lot of guys come and go, and it's hard to keep them on board. And it's like I've seen some amazing pilots like come and go and just be like, wow, man.
I know, it's crazy.
There's a huge future, like there's so much that we could do, and we're just getting started. And but going back to We Bleed, and it was me and my boys and the Central New York crew that I friended and became friends with, and the boys down in SOS and I-Town FPV, Finger Lakes, FLX, Finger Lakes crew. And, I got to actually fly my very first time I got to fly whoops at an event was with Johnny Neon FPV. And he was like maybe 12 or 13. And he whooped everybody back then with a whoop. And I'm like, oh my God, this kid is phenomenal. So, I mean, I was like, whoa. But to go back to We Bleed and jump into that, we were like, I think we were just all hanging out, drinking, having a good time. I don't know, it was barbecuing or something.
Yeah.
And we were like, and I was telling everybody the reason why I wanted to start like We Bleed is because, our local vendors and national vendors that we had, that we were supporting at the time, they were always sold out. And I'm like, I'm a guy that were like, I got a bunch of whoops on the wall, and I'm like, hey man, I don't mind. Hey little buddy, I don't mind. Since Gideon just opened up the door. If you want to come down and say hi. It's my 5-year-old.
Oh, okay.
He missed the memo that
Ah, it's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, no,
it's all good.
no doubt. I got 3 kids, so you never.
Oh, I know what's up. Hey, Freedom, what's going on? So
what's up, everybody? But,
so definitely.
Yeah, we were
man.
just chilling. And the name We Bleed came about because and reason why I started the company and just kind of like kick it off was everybody was always sold out on gear and parts. It was really challenging to find that stuff. So and it was very expensive. So, me being a business kind of guy and growing up in the business world and one day we were just, like I said, we were all chilling, hanging out, having a good time. And I was like, man, I really want to start a company. And I got to give props to Swifty FPV. And we were joking around. Wow. I was like, what would be a cool name? And I'm like, it's mad expensive. We're super passionate. I'm like literally bleeding money. And he goes, we bleed. And I was like, no shit, dude. And that was it. And that's how the name started. And it would always, and it was like literally you could just hear him say, we bleed. And I'm like, and that's how that chant that
that's fucking
just crazy.
That's freaking awesome. I'm gonna stop you right there. We're gonna go into our first video of the night real quick. Nice. And then we'll come back to some more questions, get in that screen share. And tonight we have, who is this?
What's up?
I think this is Vessel Swift Waters. I feel bad now. I don't know who the hell this is. Oh, Task Manager. My bad, Task Manager. Task Manager with the looks like he's got the nice little cinematic rip here.
Nice.
Now I'm sharing the screen. I'm not sure how good you can see it on there.
Oh, I see. I got 2 monitors here.
Okay. So all right. Just making sure you're able to see the video.
We got a big shout out to everybody in the chat.
Definitely. Lots of good people in the chat. What's up, RZFPV? Whoopville, Denver, thanks for jumping in and hanging out, Whoopville. Shelbyville is always here. Justin Drones, my guy. What is up? What is glitch here? Cats, what's up? Says you're looking slender, brother.
Me? No, you.
One of us is looking slender. Maybe it's me. I don't know.
I was I'm down to 218 now. I look pretty good shape myself. So.
G-Man, what's up? Good to see you, G-Man.
What's up? You got Shelby up in there, I see.
Yep, Shelby's in here as always. Oh, dab time, guys. Called it. You go get on it.
What's up, cats? See, and that's
FPV. What's up? Oh, and I got my queen, that Dizzy, in the house. Wow, this is a ballsy little rip over this little fall here. Oh.
It was like some sort of fort or castle.
Yeah. I don't know where he's at, if he's overseas or not. I don't know. I don't think so.
Probably some sort of water power plant.
Yeah.
It looked badass though with the cobbles.
Definitely getting in that water, getting close too.
Yeah.
Oh, he almost lost it. He's getting real close. He's ballsy. He's a lot more ballsy than I am.
I just had I threw up an old video on my post. The water gap. I took my whoop and I put it right under a dock and that opening. I was like, yo, that's pretty badass. And that was a brush too, so a little easy.
Whoa. Yeah, Cats, I'd like to know the camera angle too. I'm gonna say it's very low, and that's why he keeps looking down so much.
Oh, the bird's chasing him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I see him pushing down a lot, so I'm gonna say he might have a lower camera angle. At first, I thought it was a higher camera angle, but I don't think so. Yeah, that is crazy. All right, good stuff. Oh, yeah, good stuff by Task Manager. Swift Waters.
Nice.
That was a good video. All right. Well, let's get back into questions, man. Walk us through what's your current micro setup right now? Frames, motors, VTX, you know. What's your current right now? If you had to say you had to have, it's hard to choose, but if you had to have a go-to, what would it be?
Oh, my go-tos. Well, one, I'm not a tinker kind of guy. So,
Yeah.
and of course, I always believed in the community. The community was extremely passionate, extremely helpful. And me, I always look to the community. So my number one builder and who always builds for me is AK, Anthony Knight. And he builds phenomenal, like the cleanest builds. And so, but yeah, they're normally, my current Watopia, my 2025 Watopia builds, this year, I had the beta airframe, the OG one. I had Screamers, 0702 Weebleed Screamers, BI camera. I think I had the BiBrain print. Flight controller would be the Beta FPV F4 crossboard, which to me was the most reliable one in the last 2 seasons, and I still have just a few left this year, but they're discontinued. Props wise, HQ ultralights, Weebleed edition, and let's see, what else am I missing? Camera got the and the TBS Pro Unity Pro V1.1 So. And that's pretty much the build. Oh yeah, and ORT antennas, micro V antennas, but that's strictly my racing build. I mean, I could use that for freestyle too.
Yeah.
I just switched over to Acro, so this last year it's pretty rough, and that kind of shook me a little bit. So I started out in Angle, and I fell in love with Angle, and I was progressing, and I could see myself progress, and I was doing really well, and then peer pressure hit. And
I can barely fly Angle anymore.
Bro, you got to switch, man. And I was like, no.
Once I went straight air mode, that was it. I was done with it. And now if I even try, I suck at trying to fly in angle mode. I can't do it. It really sucks. Hey, you got Justin Drones in the chat is saying, "We bleed FPV. Thanks for hooking it up with the stickers when I order." Hell yeah, that is awesome. Getting the stickers. Always love. And KBD FPV is asking, says, "What's up, Zotek? Are we going to see you next month in the forest in Arizona?"
Oh, KBD, what's up, my man? Oh man, I would love to. I mean, it's not on my radar this year. Yeah, I burnt all. I work 2 jobs, so I have a full-time job, and I have to respect that. That's my career. Weebleed, I'm extremely passionate about it, and I love what I do. And I wake up 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30, 4 o'clock, and I do my boxing, and I get my 3 kids prepared. I'm divorced too, so I got the kids' responsibility, and by 7 o'clock, the whole clan is out the door. And then when I get home at 5:30 from the Emerald office, and I start boxing from 5:30 up until 9 o'clock in between. So, which is crazy. But that's awesome. No, I've been doing, I'm in industrial sales in the mining aggregate industry. So I've been doing that for 18 years, and I run and operate a parts company. So it kind of fits a little bit with what I'm doing.
Kudos to you, man.
To answer that question, KBD, I burnt all of my PTO time, so it's pretty hard for me to, and I'm one of the big dogs of the company. I've been there 18 years, so everyone, I gotta, sometimes we have to sacrifice. So
yeah. Oh, I get it. I know what the sacrificing is. I know.
Yeah,
exactly
well, I gave it this year. I gave it to multi-GP, IO. That's where I have never been to IO before. I've always wanted to go, and it's the craziest month for me from a sales standpoint. It's 1.4 mil budget I have for the team, and if I'm not there, that's 150,000 a week. So
yeah. What's up, Technique? Yeah, heck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, let's go ahead and get into another video. It looks like we got a whoop video up next. Vessel, where we at here? We got Vessel RX with the Veil Ripper. Oh yeah. Ooh, nice little Maddie. Hell yeah. Love videos like this. I love, and that's the one thing I love back in the days, how you can take a small space and take a micro whoop and just have fun with it.
Oh man, whoops could go
anywhere. I can't wait, man. I just moved up. You know, we're Florida people, so I just moved to Michigan, and we're gonna be, you know, of course, our first winter in Michigan. So
Oh,
I
wow.
know. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be ready this year. I'm gonna definitely have my whoops ready
Yeah,
for
you
it.
guys got there's a good scene up there. Yeah, there's quite a bit. You know,
Yeah, I'm starting to see that now. I know some guys down south, Donnie. I know Mike Drones, and you know a few other guys out here. Lots of good pilots. Some of the old schools
yeah,
out of Detroit. Ooh, good flying.
yeah, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's the that's the like my man's in like an apartment here, and he's just he got himself a ladder, and he's just doing tricks, having fun. I mean and that's the that's awesome. You don't need the
Yeah.
whole entire environment, and
Not at
I wouldn't
all.
even be able to. I mean, be asinine if I decided to power up my 5 inch and try to like fly that at my. It's like death.
It's crazy.
Talk about yeah, it's crazy.
So so let's talk a little about tech. What's the most common mistake that you see people make with micros getting into the hobby?
Not testing the gear before they start soldering on. Unfortunately, this industry is so sus with the quality, the QC, the standards, and that's really tough. So, but it's up to us, the guys that are running the show, to kind of define, expectations.
Yeah,
And but
it's tough,
big,
man. You can't trust the bind and fly sometimes, depending on which company it comes
yeah,
from. Yeah. So I mean, I know what it is to get that box and it
get a
comes in.
voltage meter.
You
Go
know,
out and buy
yeah, that's
go to
it.
your local hardware store and get a voltage meter and just
Super
start.
simple. I mean, I know
Super
the
simple.
feeling. I know the feeling to get out there and be like,
It'll
"Oh, my
save
fucking
you.
package is here. I got it." You open it up, you want to just plug right in and fly. Well, it's not that easy, you know.
The components are so tiny. They're micros. It's
Yeah.
small. I'm literally blind in one eye, so that's another reason why I'm not a big focused in on building. Is just my vision sucks. I
Yeah.
got two different types of glasses I wear. So, but
Yeah.
you're flying. With the tech, everybody wants to go so thin and so lightweight, and like they got 1/8 wafers or 0.8 wafers. The heat transfer in that heat. You put that soldering iron, boom. You're overheating that entire chipset. And,
Yeah, and it's so small. Yeah, you
so
have to be
small.
careful.
Then you got nut jobs like me saying, "Yeah, let's go to 40,000 kV motors and have fun, like push the boundaries." But we do test that stuff. There's a tremendous amount of like qualified engineers out there that are always like, "Hey man, if you want to like send me some motors, we'll test some stuff out and put it up
Nice.
and bench test this stuff." And big shout out to the boys out there and guys like Aaron Ciotti who like crazy just sit there and just all he talks about
Tinker.
is
Tinker. That's
tinker
it.
and
All day long. All
tests
day
and
long.
just pushes it to the limit of what he can and can't do. And fun freestyle pilot. You got heads over at Infinity Loops. Of course, Josh Bardwell, where everybody just goes to, and Bacon Ninja was around. He was a fun dude to hang out with and watch. And yeah, I mean, there's so many talented dudes out there that were just
Nice.
you can learn. But once again, go out, get yourself a multimeter, and always test the
Test
part
your
test
parts.
before you start building, and then understand. And it's simple, man. Just go on Google and be like, "Hey, what should I be looking for? How do I, what should I be looking for? If I want to solder on this camera to this flight controller, what are things I could test to see if it's valid or not, and what you could do, and it'll save you a heartache, and it saves us time. And
Yeah.
I juggle everything, so there's only so much time that I have, but I try my best to answer. I pretty much answer everybody,
Okay.
but to my best ability. And if I don't,
It
I
gets
rely
tough.
on the community, and I reach out to the boys in the community, like, "Hey, man, I got one that I'm not, I don't understand, or this one's above my head," and people jump on it. EDoc, my boy EDoc, Team We Bleed, right there. Big shout out to EDoc. He's pretty, that boy's pretty spot on with some of his stuff, and Borg
Nice.
Slayer, and all the boys out there. Super super helpful.
Captain
Jesse
Colin
Garrett.
Captain Colin in the chat says we bleed best hot sauce ever.
Nice. Best
Yeah,
hot
that's the
sauce.
good stuff.
I'm
Borg
trying
Bit
to work
says
on some more, man.
Borg Bit says I miss Bacon Ninja. I rock his shirt a lot. Yeah, Bacon Ninja. It's sad that he took off.
Yeah.
No longer,
Yeah.
doing the thing anymore.
I
It's
got I
sad.
got an honor to fly with him. We were on team esports e series. We bleed the sim racing that we do. He was on our team, and great team pilot to be with, and so
That's
forth. And
awesome. That's
you know,
awesome, man.
we had a lot of good guys to hang out with.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into another video. We got Koala FPV up next. Let's go ahead and get in here. Test flight with DJI goggles 3. Looks like it's third flight. So this is his third flight. What do you feel about the DJI micro game, with the new DJI 4?
Yeah, it's I'm not a DJI fanboy first. I don't.
No.
I think putting too many eggs in one basket for a company like that can be detrimental for the entire industry. That's just my take.
Mm-hmm.
They're an amazing company. They're what do you want to call it? They spread out their portfolio. They're not just drones, and they're tapping into a tremendous amount. They hit the chord with us. The tech it's where it's at, and supply and demand right now, and there is a limited supply. I mean, very limited supply.
Very limited supply. Yes.
Going on right now, and it needs to open. See, the problem with something like that is when you put the roadblocks and hurdles in front of companies like that, and you're trying to ask other companies to step up and produce, they don't have the same R&D, the technology, the patents, and the structure. It'll take years. So hopefully this is, I don't know, this one could be stretched out for a while for you DJI fans out there. So, but come on to our side, the Whoop world, hang out with Whoopville.
There's no whoop like an analog whoop. I don't care what anybody says. I fly DJI. I'm not a fanboy whatsoever, but I fly DJI, but there's no whoop flies. I mean, there's nothing that flies like an analog whoop. That's it. An analog whoop is where it's at. In whoop.
HD is coming along. I think we're still pushing along. I mean, the guys are pushing the boundaries of what they can and can't do with HD stuff. And I give them mad props. HD Zero, stepping up and coming out with, TBS is doing stuff. I mean, everyone's doing stuff, and it takes time, and it's really, really hard, and you need a lot of capital. I mean, I wouldn't be in my basement if I didn't have, I'm in my basement for a reason. It's just because I'm a one-man show, and trying to generate capital to support a drone business is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Slow organic growth is my motto. That's what I like. But yeah, no, DJI, you gotta have it's gonna be a big uphill battle for everybody out there.
So I know you talked about it a little bit before, you touched on it, but how do you balance being a pilot and a full-time dad, full-time job, and then running a full-time brand or an FPV brand? I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, man. I mean, kudos to you for sure, man. Lots of drugs. That's what does it, kids. You hear it.
Alcohol,
you heard it first here. Lots of alcohol and drugs.
No, it's just I was born this way. I mean, when I was sixth, seventh grade, and I had the biggest paper route in the Bronx. So I was I was a street kid. I was a hustler, So to me, you always got to be working, making money, and saving up for your next big thing. So to me, it's just it's a part of my life. Like I'm capable of handling more. Like if somebody said, Jeff, I need you to do this and like take on this, I'm like, yeah, I would find a way to. It's all about time management for me. My life is very structured. Everybody knows, like, if you hit me up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, that boy might be sleeping, but I'm up at like, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm already cranking it out. I'm like working on the next product. I'm focused. You want to segment, you want to like break up your day and focus in on the 80% vision of what you need to achieve. And the 20% is just the noise. Right now there's a lot of noise going on, but and I got to stay focused to the vision of what needs to be done and achieve that. So
what what makes Weebly different from the rest?
Me, I guess, my drive, my passion, my love for the community, how I would want to be treated. I think that's pretty important. Like I look at, how companies, big and small, interact, treat. Customer service is so critical, being available for everybody, no matter if it's, 7 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 in the afternoon. It's just being available, making sure that you're kind and you're listening to what the need is and delivering on that. And I've definitely, I'm going to drop the F-bomb, but I've definitely
You're
fucked up
good.
a few customer inquiries, and I feel bad. Trust me, like, when I get a bad review or somebody like just or if I'm having a bad day and I didn't write that email the right way, and I'm like, hey man, like you have shippers insurance. It's okay to push the button on the website and apply for. I need you to do that, and I'm like, oh okay, and I make mistakes too. I'm human, so it's tough, but it's just being able to serve the masses and delivering the goods. And I have my little niche for me is I got a 24/7 post office, so I literally could if I'm boxing at like 2 o'clock in the morning and it's like because I'm up and I'm cranked out or something, just on life. I don't do drugs and shit.
Yeah.
Stuff, and I hardly ever do that shit. I might have an occasional beer and stuff, but I'm just wired. I got a 24-hour post office, so I could just walk in. It's all digital, scan my boxes, drop it in, and I'm golden.
Nice.
And so, and that's the district office too. So all you guys want to, start a business, no matter what, find your district office in your region. And then that's how you could like jump the game of like, how do you gain faster in your shipping side? So you always got to look for like the blue oceans, the niches in the marketplace, and, how you can separate yourself from the competition. Like everybody's, this is a small industry, so we're all sharing. Majority of us are sharing the same manufacturer. So
yeah,
I'm producing 0702s. I have representation through Happy Model. Thank you, Happy Model, for bridging
Happy Model.
bridging the gap to their direct manufacturer, and they brought me in under their umbrella, which people want to say, oh, they're just Happy Model Motors. Yeah, we're sharing, but the fact that we have that ability, but for me to separate myself, I was like, hey, one day it was me, AK, Wild Type, and Eve's Fractal Engineer, and we were all talking about how can we prevent desyncing of the motors at a high kV on micro motors, 0702s. Desyncing is just basically that the motor just desyncs. It spins up so much that it just loses its way to communicate to the flight controller, the MOSFETs and all that, the ESCs, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Nice.
So it's just like, and then Eves and everybody were like, on our slot cars, we used to have knurled shafts for gripping, so it would help for the gear, higher torque ratio and all that stuff. And we all started, coming up with ideas, and there was just, these are the ways, that I always try to do something different, and, separates ourselves as, like, everybody loves slaps and stickers, in FPV, and I have a great network. The other side of my emerald is like I have an already established network overseas, everywhere, Dubai, Asia, Europe. I mean, everywhere. So I could just call up some friends that I've dealt with throughout the years, like, hey, who do you recommend in this region? Oh, you need to focus your, you need to go over here. You need to go over here. So, and that's, I started making phone calls and, building these networks and bridges. And I got a great sticker person. And so anytime I throw her a design, I mean, literally I'll have it in like, an hour. She'll come back and be like, here you go. I'm like, yeah, I'll take 2,000 of them. And I mean, they're mad. They're, she hooks me up. So if you guys want stickers, I'm thinking about starting up like a little like sticker company, and it's just strictly bulk though, like 500,000, 2,000 at a time, because it's a big company and they pop them out. But you could get stickers for like 7-8 cents a pop. I mean, you can't beat that deal.
No, you can't. That's a great deal.
So,
Shit.
oh, it's
Holy
ridiculous,
crap.
man.
Now,
so you can,
what
have fun with that one.
for you, what do you think has been the hardest part about running an FPV business in 2025?
Man, it just man, that's a great question. The hardest thing is the 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins. Everyone has a different preference and taste, and there's reason why I stock so many different wood props, because there's everybody, 45s, 40s, 35s, 31s, 1 mil shafts, 1.5 mil shafts. I mean, high pitch, low pitch, different, you name it. But everyone has so many different personal preferences. Like, yo, man, 0802s with 35, 1.5 mil shafts. That's where to be. And then everyone, all my racer guys. So it's hard to manage all the needs and requirements of the whole like community as a general. So I got to be very, being small, you do have your weaknesses. It's like you can't overextend, and which makes it challenging. That's all.
Yeah,
just
for
being
sure.
able to tailor to everybody's needs is the biggest challenge that I face. And once you get the product in there, it's flying, it's really good, and then the hot new comes out, and it's like, oh shit, man.
Yeah, and then you got to keep going.
Like 400 of those fuckers I got to get rid of.
That's crazy, isn't it?
I had a shit ton of airframes. I had a ton of airframes. So, and I just dropped not too long ago. I probably think like a good month or so ago, I dropped it down to 420 a frame just to start getting rid of them, because I knew the Air 2 frames were coming, and I had that exclusive deal with Beta. They reached out to me like, hey, would you be interested in helping us? And I was like, I would be interested in helping you, but these are the changes that I'm looking for, and this is the color I want. They were like,
hell yeah.
Are you interested in 3,000 frames? I was like, yeah, let's do it. I'll have fun. So I got 3,000 red frames. So we're ready to unload, but not, the shipments are coming every day, every other day. We're getting more and more frames in. So, but
nice. Nice.
Tailoring the 31 flavors, Baskin Robbins. There's so many preferences out there, and that's
hard. That makes it tough. That makes it real hard. We're gonna get into our next video by Venus FPV. Yeah, man, I bet that stuff, especially with the props.
We're progressing so quick.
That's just the electronics game, period, man. It's tough.
The Murphy's rule or something? I mean, everything is just like bang, bang. I can't wait to see. We can even go smaller, I think. But I don't know if people want to go too small.
Yeah, I know people were talking about wanting to go smaller. The tech is there, but do you really want to go smaller?
Oh, it'd be a lot harder.
Oh, definitely.
We got palm trees, it looks like.
Yeah.
Arizona or somewhere down there.
I think they're in Texas.
Texas. I've never been to Texas.
Yeah, they're like in the middle of nowhere in Texas. Oh. Technique, I see you, brother. I don't know if I said what's up. How are you this evening? Thank you for your love, as always, my friend. Heck yeah, man. That was some good stuff right there. Tiny whooping a building. That's his wife. He hasn't been, I guess, Gringo's wife. She hasn't been flying too long, so that's pretty awesome to see that she's been coming up. So.
Oh, yeah.
So, brother, how do you stay mainly connected to the FPV community? Events, Discords. I mean, do you watch live streams? I know you're a busy guy. How do you stay connected?
It's tough. It's tough. I give, when I'm connected, and I give a lot. We Bleed is built around, I'm focused in on the community. I would say, I don't take salary. I don't take, occasionally I'll buy the family dinner and so forth. But majority of it goes back to the community and just making sure that my finger's on the pulse, asking everybody what the good new is, and and just supporting the big whoop events, maybe Wootopia, the United States Air Force Museum race, We Bleed Whoop Champs, any of the big national whoop racing events, maybe here in the United States or abroad. I'm just, I'm just out there just, helping out. It's for me, it's all about enhancing the whoop experience. And I throw these crazy parties. It's one thing when I go to, if you guys ever go to Wootopia, that's the Super Bowl of whoop racing. I think this year it's going to go to 4 days now, I believe, in Arizona. And it's like usually like January 14th, that like, one of the first holidays of January, and but it's so worth it. I bring out a good college buddy of mine, Mikey Grills. We were college roommates. Yeah, he's a professional chef. He does all events and parties. So I bring him out. The last 2 years we brought him out, and we just nobody buys food, like nobody buys drinks. It's all on We Bleed, and three days of just hollering out, partying, and just having a good time. And that's where I get to hang out with everybody and socialize. And we do the esports series event. We were pretty regular once a year. We did take a break. We just finished our last season 4. We just completed that not too long ago. So we're pretty engaging that way. Team We Bleed's pretty big. I think I lost count on how many dudes are in there, but it's a collection of very talented pilots and community members, and everybody asks me. This is really important though. I get hit up a lot, like, hey man, I want to be on Team We Bleed. How do I become a Team We Bleed pilot? First. The big thing about asking for sponsorships is don't ask. I think the most important thing is don't ask. But what you need to do is, and if you want to get noticed, is like go to events, become active in your community, take people under your wing, teach them and show them, occasionally tag us, we're always looking for
basically just pilots. Do something, man. Do something. Yeah, don't just come in, be a good pilot and think everybody's going to come bow down. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. I mean, show that you're actually a human being. Leaders. Yeah, man.
We want to take
Agreed.
Like good souls, like people that were going to go out of their way and say, hey, you know what? Let me do this, or this is how I carry myself. There's in all communities, in all ways of life, there's always going to be your bad apples and so forth. So we try to, as a collective team, we're always watching and be like, yo, this person's really good. This guy's doing really good things out there. Super active in the community. He doesn't ask for anything, and like those are the guys that we're looking for. It's just. And we're not a big company, and so we're not dropping, product to every single pilot out there and so forth. I'm not showering them. I'm not buying them. It's camaraderie. We're working together as a collective group, a family. We're doing this together. We're all in this together. And, it's important that we carry ourselves in a very professional way because, life is too short. Like, I want to live on the right side of the path and,
way too
do good
short.
For, like way too short, man. Like we lose way too many good, talented pilots and friends. And it's just like, what the fuck, man? Like every month I'm hearing like, oh man, our boy, man, we just lost QT. QT was an avid racing pilot with us at esports series, and a lot of guys know QT, and God rest his soul, man. But
yeah, that's unfortunate, man. That's terrible.
You don't know when your time's up, and you just gotta just carry yourself the right way. And right. I think the universe is magnetic. I'm very philosophical. I believe in how you treat others is how the universe is going to treat you, and what you push out there is what it's magnetic. I believe in that, and so I'm always pushing positive, good feel vibes and trying to have a good time. And I'm definitely going to call out the bullshit if I see something, and which is important because we have to hold ourselves to a good standard in life. I mean, you can't be going around and misusing your privilege and power or whatever you're doing. Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, playing whoops or being a good person or being a dick. I mean, just you got to draw the line sometimes and say, hey, This is
Yeah.
not something that I want to be down with. So, why don't you check yourself? And
Yep.
shit
Exactly.
happens, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Let's go into our next video. Our next video is El Gringo Tiny Poop. There you go. There's the new name. He called it the Tiny Poop One Pack Uncut.
Oh, tiny poop.
That's funny. I love it.
There we go. Tiny poop. We're gonna start that one. Tiny
Ooh,
poop.
nice trip. He's killing this. Nice little rewinds.
Who's this pilot's name?
This is Gringo FPV. I had him. He was actually my guest last week.
Oh yeah.
Last week.
Underneath. Yeah, dude.
Great pilot. Great dude.
It's all about that camera angle there. I mean, it's crazy. That's good shit. See, and that's what's awesome about Whoops is like, you could take this, device and go places where you cannot go. I mean, right now we got an IGAL week 4, is Wiggly building dives. So check that out this week. It's going to be, I'm pretty sure it'll be replayed this week, but everyone's posting their building dives. I mean, it's just phenomenal what everyone's doing out there, which is badass.
Yeah, it's crazy. Talking about people out there doing stuff, how do you feel about gorilla whooping? What are your thoughts on that? It's very controversial with some guys, and I'm just curious.
That's my boy vegan. No, I mean, gorilla whooping is one we do. I mean, it's just like computer hacking. You got your black hats, you got your gray hats, and you got your white hats. Gorilla whooping is like literally in the gray zone in my eyes. I look at it like, all right, I know that it's a little freaky, and some people are like, oh man, you're pushing the boundaries, but if you do it the right way, you're being respectful. Look at Vegan. Watch what Vegan does, how he interacts, how he flies. He's not putting himself in a position. It's a very small chance of mistakes of hurting, injuring people and so forth. But there's a fine line, and so you don't want to go into the store and buzz people and harass them and stuff. That's not what
No.
That's not what that's about.
Agreed.
It's about
agreed.
exploring the scene. It's about enjoying the moment. It's about catching that that adrenaline. You're like
That rush, yeah.
That rush, and it's pretty addicting. You're like, man, that's a pretty good natural high, and you want to replicate that. But you got to be respectful to the people that you're around, and if you notice that you're irritating somebody, or if you're not getting the right vibe, and you could see their body language. You got to be a good reader, and so you just got to make the right moves. And Vegan's really good at that, and so is Slackers and my boy Goons, and too many really good pilots. But I do like gorilla whooping. It just you gotta just fly in the gray zone.
Yeah. And I see, speaking of gorilla whooping, I see Kmart just jumped in the chat. What's up, buddy? He's another gorilla whooper right there every once in a while here. That's nice.
I'm always following that. It's just fun. It's a different vibe. It's that's why I always tell Vegan that in New York City, or any metropolis zone, you got so much content. There's so much to do. Every single street corner has something that you could just completely shred and spend hours on. So it's you got to take it slow. Walk each block and be like, oh, I'm coming back and hitting that up, or I'm gonna hit that building, and then just, it's an endless playground for us. And I just hopefully that none of us do anything irrational or irresponsible or stupid to jeopardize the whole community. Shit could happen, but just if we all continue to do the same thing and be somewhat respectful and fly in the gray zone, then I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I know there's some people I don't fucking like it. I don't want to see
people
it.
That are
like
just,
it.
Yeah, like you said, it is a gray area. You got to be careful. It's all about respect and, boundaries and, 6 foot, stay 6 feet away from everybody. Give them their space. I get that.
Being in subways and stuff, it's tight though, man.
That's tough. But I'm not going to lie. Some of those subway videos are kind of cool, but I haven't seen anybody bugging out in the subway videos. I mean,
Well, me and Skittles, FPV Skittles, Dan from, Race Gal. I took him when he came up to We Bleed Northeast Whoop Champs up here. I took him to the Destiny Mall USA. It's like one of the biggest malls up here in the Northeast, and I think it's like number 2, or it's up in the top 5-10 of mega malls. And they got this crazy playground, and it is massive. It takes up the whole front section of the mall.
Oh wow!
And he's tripping, spinning. And we had this lady tripping, screaming, like, "You can't be doing that!" And Dan's like, "Oh yes, I can." I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I'm sitting there like, "Oh man!" And I'm a spotter too, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're good, bro. Keep flying. Everything's good." You hear me chirping up in the back a little bit, and he's just like, "Lady, come on, like, what are you doing?" And she was a total Karen. But you're always going to get those individuals, and you just got to be respectful. If they're saying, "Hey, I need you to bring that down," like, okay, no problem, bring it down, walk away, let them walk off into the sunset and come back and have some fun again. But they're always going to be out there, man. We're never going to be able to please everybody. I mean, just the nature of the beast.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we're going to get into another video real quick, and this is the one and only Todd FPV with the Bonnie Shoot HD. This guy here is just insane. Todd?
If I see the video, I absorb a lot of information. There's so many pilots, and
he's out west.
We're going through a renaissance right now.
He's out west, man. He's an OG. He's out west, nice. And he's doing these great cinematic, just long range videos that are he's getting these rock formations that are, I don't know, one of a kind.
Yeah, I love the ones with the waterfalls where they're going like literally right over the waterfalls. Yeah, that's some real good quality right there. That's like Arizona looking. Yeah,
I forget where he's at. I think he's in Nevada.
Fuck, man, that's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, he's got some great footage.
What's up, Danger Dave?
Danger Dave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Arizona. Okay, that's right, Arizona.
Those rock formations look familiar.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
During Watopia, we took a hike through one of the mountains, and man, I don't even know what we were doing. Me, Swifty, and a bunch of other dudes, we were just like, yeah, let's go smoke a couple J's and go, me, Tasty, Swifty, Mr. Rabble, and man, who else was there? Oh, Curtis Flightney. I think it was us, and we were like it was like 4 or 5 hours through the mountain. I was like, oh my God, we're fucked. And we were like literally just like sliding down giant boulders, and I'm like that's like a cougar or big cat paw print, and I'm like, where the fuck are we going? It was awesome.
Wow, look at this.
Hot too. We didn't bring any water, like dumbasses. We're like, yeah, we got joints, we're good.
Oh, cotton mouth.
Oh my God, it was brutal.
I bet. And it was hot too. Woo.
Yeah, it was, January's not too bad. Got to give it to
January, yeah. So
January was like, we were all, some of the dudes were wearing pants. I was like, fuck this, I'm not wearing shorts. I live in upstate New York, and we got January, you had like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
This spot's pretty hot, pretty dope, because, just based on what, the scenery and stuff, it's you wouldn't be hiking that stuff.
It's pretty epic. It's crazy to see, all these different regions and what everybody's flying for long range. You see some guys like Marcel up in BC, where he's flying the waterfalls and stuff like that, and then you see Todd in Arizona, and he's flying those rock formations, and then some of the guys out east with the mountains. It's just fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I freaking love it, man. I really do. We're getting close to the end, guys. Got a couple videos left, I think. Yes, got a couple videos left. We'll play those at the end here. But I still got some more questions for you.
Oh yeah.
So what's your favorite micro spot you've ever flown? In your opinion?
My favorite micro spot was my own personal favorite, which was Wotropolis. It's I was gifted a full year of I got to build a racetrack in Destiny Mall for full year.
Okay.
So every weekend we would go there, and me and Swifty would build these most epic. Swifty FPV, Ken Harding Jr. He's like one of the closest boys. Amazing whoop track builder. Him and AK are phenomenal builders and Borg Slayer. But Swifty and I were building these crazy tracks with We Bleed LED gates. And I mean, I had a 40 by 40 spot, and that place was just absolutely ridiculous. And we would change it up all the time. So every time that, 1 week come down, boom, everybody come down, we're changing it up. But the coolest spot I got to give it to is, the coolest whip track that we ever raced in was Seneca Street Brewery. It was a brewery in a basement, and the ceiling was maybe like 7 feet. And everybody, I mean, if you're like 6 something, you're literally you're hitting the fucking ceiling. Practically. I mean, it was so tight. It was the tiniest little basement, and that place was packed. And we built a track over everybody's heads, and we were flying. I mean, and we were like, if we get a whoop in anybody's hair, we're buying beers, and people were just laughing and just having a good time. And, we always find that the small, tight spots in bars and restaurants are like the best place to set up a track. It's so engaging. That's before all this shit happened, like Salt City Racing, FPV, my job and what I was strictly doing in the community was going to all my local bars and restaurants and setting up local whoop races. And we got one spot, Gino's Cheesesteak and Onion, like right around the corner. They make awesome cheesesteaks, and they got like phenomenal. I mean, we're talking like a room that's maybe good. Maybe 25 by 20. I mean, it's a square box, and we literally held a race in there, and there was like 40 people standing up, and we had an aerial track. And we had, of course, with the tech that we have, we push all of our video up on the screen. So everybody's watching. I mean, the whole place was fucking, screaming and yelling, and everybody, and we had like 15, 17 pilots, and we cramped in. Everybody was like this, but we had so much fucking fun. That was one of the best experiences from racing. And, it's your environment. And we were very fortunate, lucky to go around and look before COVID hit. And I had literally every month we would have 1 or 2 races at a new venue, and everybody was like, hey man, I know what you're doing in this area, can you set one of these up? We'll give you guys like $60, $40-$60 gift certificate cards. And we went to a whole bunch of breweries and restaurants, and everybody was just like, this is the fucking dopest crazy shit. We had one event at this place called the Hop Spot down in Armory Square, massive brewery. There must have been like 50 little kids, like age 5-year-olds. The guy was plugging the shit out of the event. They all sat on the floor, and we were like doing like a show and tell and flying, and we had Johnny there, and just everybody. We took up that whole restaurant.
I bet they love that. They ate that shit
absolutely
up.
And then COVID hit, and I was like, you bastards. COVID hit, killed the whole community vibe. Everybody went indoors, and the only way that I survived was doing esports series. I went right to sim racing because I didn't want to lose this momentum, and that's how I got through. I started focusing more on the store and building up inventory and building up, because it was just me. Like, there's no rules and regulations, So delivery guy drops something off, and I'm like, okay, let's put it on the store, and bang.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little a little extra back history there. But yeah,
that's crazy.
Like tight little spots for whoop racing, because it's pretty. All you need is like 10, 12 gates, and you can set up a pretty dope track. And
you sure can
get creative with it and have a couple beers, because that definitely helps out too. So.
So where can some of these people that don't know you, where can they find you and support We Bleed FPV? We're social. We do not have a traditional brick and mortar place. You can find us, of course, on our website, but Facebook, Instagram, and I'm trying to build up Reddit. There's just, I just started that not too long ago, but there's maybe like a 24 of us on there. But I use a lot of because I'm a one-man show. I use a lot of special programs and pushers and bots and stuff that help engage and interact. And on Reddit, I have one of my bots that pushes like Oscar Lang's informational stuff. And on
Twitter, I think I have like old Bardwell stuff gets pushed out. Like I try to push stuff out into the world to get people to, you know, like look at us, you know, look at us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a big world, you know. But I think, you know, customer service and stickers and the personal notes, and I think that goes a long way.
Customer service goes a long way.
Yeah.
And, you know, you have your great personality, and you know that goes a long way, man. That really does. But anything you want to tease us with or announce before you get out of here?
No, just I mean, you know, there's a lot of noise going on in the community right now,
Yep.
and that we do need to be aware of and understand. And you know, it's important that we, you know, we take the moment to reflect and learn. It's, you know, what's going on right now, and people just need to take a step back and like read what the community is saying. And you know, I'm not one of bullies and stuff. You know, you could say that maybe my childhood I was drawn to bullies, and or bullies were drawn to me, and I never really liked that scenario. So when I see something now in my, you know, my latter part of my life, I'm more vocal and saying, hey, you know, I don't believe in that type of behavior, and I think that's something that we should, you know, understand and look, let's talk about it. Like what triggers an individual to, you know, do this to another, and so forth. So, you know, I will use my platform, and I will use my voice, and I will use, you know, I will use the connections, and we'll work together and understand, you know, how do we make this community better? Because I mean,
Yeah.
FPV was just about bringing, you know, everyone close. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone is so passionate about, hey man, you really, like, you know, I was going through a divorce where I was like, I literally didn't want to do anything, and my life sucked, and
That's
like
what,
life was drained, and my boy literally forced the goggles on. He was like, you have to see this, and right at that moment it was the aha moment, like, you know, life is, you know, there is other stuff out there, and sometimes you get stuck in a rut and you don't have, you know, ways to get out of it. And so, you know, so people were so helpful to me, so I'm very like passionately connected to everybody, and I think that we're all in this together. You know, we're still, I truly believe, and this is crazy, I still think that we're still in the niche phase. Like we're in the infancy stage of what FPV is and where it's going. Like, yeah, the OGs, we're talking 10 years ago or 12 years ago, 14 years ago. You know, the boys out there that were building stuff, like they were actually coding and typing in the scripts to make this shit, you know, like mad props to those dudes. But we're progressing and growing as a group, and we need to grow as, I mean, this is a family, you know, I look, everybody's a family. And so when you start fucking with the family, you know, I would want, if I do something wrong to you, I want you to say something to me. I really do. I really believe that the only way for you to like learn and to grow as an individual is to like have people say, hey man, you know, I didn't really appreciate what you said there, and these are the reasons why. And be like, oh man, I'm you know what, I was wrong in that. You know, I wasn't thinking of others in that situation, and I'm too selfish to like look at, you know, the outer aspect. You know, everyone's focused on their inners or protectionism, and, you know, like I'm doing this for me. But if you change it for like, we're doing this for everybody, your outlook changes.
The outlook changes. You know, exactly.
Huge thing, man. So We Bleed is all about, you know, it's a tight knit family. We're here to take care of each other, and we want to just do right, you know. And if we start hearing stuff out there that's not, you know, not jiving real good, then we're gonna say something. And it's not just me. There's a lot of other people out there. So I think with all the noise that I'm referencing out there, you know.
Yeah, well, kudos to you guys for standing up, you know, and
it's just not just me. There's a whole
there's a lot of people. Like I told you, man, and guys, check out the group on Facebook, you know, Tiny Who.
Yep, Tiny Who.
Get Facebook, on there. Yep, Tiny Who with the question mark. Get on there and read some of these testimonies that people are saying. It's not just Jeff. It's not
punishment. I want people to understand this is not. It's not like an ill will punishment thing. This is just an awakening. Like
it's education.
You know, it's education. Like, you know, I looked up I look, as growing up, you look up to people and stuff. And when I first got into the industry, there was one person that I was just like, oh my God, like I can't wait to fucking meet this dude. This is so fucking awesome. Like, and then when you pull back the peels and stuff, and then you find out, nobody's fucking perfect and we all make mistakes. And I get that.
That's right.
But we need to we need to grow together though. Like, if you're saying community, we're in this together. If you're not saying, you're saying community, but you're shaking your hand over here and doing something else over here, then we got a problem, because then you're misleading, you're misguiding, you're not being truthful, and then it shows that you're not an honest person. And just people make mistakes. Once again, this is what's going on. Is not it's no ill will. It's just that people were hurt and they wanted a place to communicate and vent, because it's becoming more and more regular and it's happening more and more. So just the noise is, remember the 80, focus on the vision of 80%, 20% noise. So right now we got a little too much noise, but in life you have to be flexible and moldable and so forth. So but just be kind, pay it forward, have
always.
It's always best, I believe I'm a big man in capitalism, I'm a big man in business, and there's a way to take care of people, to do it the right way. And, I believe in structures and respect, and, being kind and paying it forward. And, the world is magnetic. The universe is magnetic, and what you put out there is what's going to come back. So,
deep, brother.
Yeah, just gotta have fun, bro.
Sure.
Just go out there and have fun. Just go out there and fucking fly. Have fun. Be respectful. Be kind, and take care of your brothers and sisters, and pick people up. That's life's too fucking short. So, and we're gonna miss boys like QT out there, and a lot of the dudes out, that were really good fucking souls, and they ain't gonna be a part of this experience and this journey with us. And I've seen too many people come and go for no reasons that should be in this community with us, and they should still be in the community, but they're not. And then that's like, wait a minute,
sad.
So yeah, it's like, take care of your peeps, bro. That's all, man. Be kind.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
chill
brother,
it,
thank you. Amazing. Yeah, man, brother. I appreciate you being on here with me. It's been.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.
I had a blast. Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
I could probably do this for 4 hours. I mean, we are known to do like 4 fucking hour streams,
Oh, dude, those days are over, especially like me, like, just like you, brother. I got a full-time job that I have to deal with. That's my bread and butter. But yeah, brother, we had a good time, for sure. I do appreciate you coming on here, giving us the education, and we wish you the best of luck with We Bleed and everything, man. Your endeavors.
Yeah,
man.
just shoot me an email. If I'm doing, if there's something on the store that you would like us to stock, would like me to stock, and go out there, and I'm all about supporting the community. And if I fuck up, just shoot me an email and just say, hey, Jeff, blah 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 blah, and I'd be like, you know what, let me take a moment to reflect, talk about it, and then if I fucked up, and if I did, then I'll be like, yeah, you know what, you're 100% right, I should never done that or said that. So but that's what's part about growing up and being an adult and stuff, and reflecting. So, but you guys have fun, play it safe out there. I love all of you. Thank you for so much of all that support, and come out to one of our events one day, and the big ones that's where it's at.
That's where it's
at. You guys
at.
want to party? The Whoop House is fucking lit. We throw some crazy parties, and they're like, listen, they're all we got cops with us, we got lawyers with us, we got doctors, engineers, business. I mean, this is just the place to vent and stuff, and of all ages. I mean, we are responsible adults. Just want to let you guys know that. But ages from like 18 to freaking 66, I think. So like, hey, it's, but we're all respectful, and we're all one big family, and that's all I gotta say.
Amen.
Brother. Thank you guys.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it. Thank you for having me.
All right, brother. Take care, man. We'll be in touch soon. Thanks a lot.
We bleed.
All right. Later.
Peace. Thanks, my dude.
Yes, sir. Have a good one. All right. We're getting into these videos. We got a few videos up next, and I think we had, this is Fuzz FPV? The Fuzz FPV. Let's get into these videos. What a great interview, man, with Jeff. That was great. I had a good time with him. What an interesting individual, man, and to learn a little bit about what some of these businesses in the FPV world, how they think and what their thoughts are on the community. But go ahead and support them at We Bleed FPV. Check them out. Buy something from the store. I know I am, especially to get ready for this winter. Is this gonna be fucking cold? It is gonna be cold. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this 2, 3, 4 feet of snow up here in North Michigan that we're gonna get. Guess we're gonna find out, huh? Definitely gonna be some videos on that. Woo! Killing this spot. Hell yeah. Oh. Definitely some high energy whipping here. I'd like to welcome all you new subs and everybody that joined the chat this evening. Thank you for hanging out. No, not July snow. This winter. Hell no. Talking about this winter coming up in North Michigan. No, I believe we start getting snow up here in late October, early November. So I'm definitely going to have some days where I am going to be landlocked, so I'll be flying inside. Ooh. Killing this rip. Emergency RIP FPV freestyle. I got you, cats. No sweat. Up next, we got Technique FPV, the homie. Uh-oh, video unavailable. Visit site. Oh, here we go. The homie right there. Let's get it. Now my mic is clipping. I think I'm having issues with my cord. Sorry, guys. I'll have this figured out by the next one. Thanks, Whoopville. Turn this up. I'm not getting any volume on this guy. There we go. Volume is really low on this video. Ooh, dab time. Who's ready for a dab? I didn't take a dab tonight with you guys. Take a dab before I get out of here. Good tune, Technique. And great flying as always. Keeping my dabs on the shelf. What the fuck? What am I dabbing on? Fuck, I don't even know what this is. Let's get it. Always some excellent videos, yes. Tech's ripped in his high school. Oh. Tech's been locking in all his tricks and getting ready for the Fly Tribe competition. Ooh. That was nice. God damn. Ooh. Sour diesel, that's what this is. Sour fucking diesel. Took me a good hit of sativa at this time. I should be going to bed soon too. We got one more video before getting out of here. Oh, oh, he came close to the ground. Yes, hit that like button. Thank you, Whoopville, Denver. He said not on sour diesel. This shit keeps me up, man. Not too much, though. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm complaining. All right. Last but not least, we got doubles. We made it to your video, doubles. Doubles with the iGout 5. Building dies. Regular season challenge number 4. See, what do we got here? Super cool son, help me share the magic of FPV. The old EV800D screen is a workhorse for giving ride-alongs. Oh, that EV800. Classic. Ooh, clean dive. With the 65. Oh, okay. With the Air 65. Nice. On rails, buddy. Nice dive. Super clean dive. Comes back with the Matty, double Matty. Triple. How many Matties we gonna do here? 3. And another dive. Hell yeah. Ooh, did you touch it that time? Yo, Wallbanger, what good, buddy? Hell yeah, that was fucking dope. That was definitely dope. Well, that's it, guys. That's all the videos. We had our great guests. We had a good time tonight talking about tiny whoops, talking about a little bit of the issues that's going on in the whoop world at the end. But at the end of the world, at the end of the night, you know, or the end of the day, actually, just don't be an asshole. Don't be a dick, man. Just be kind to everybody. Be kind to the next man, no matter if you're in this hobby as a hobbyist, as just a pilot, or as a businessman. You know, don't be a fucking dick. Just make it happen. Do it right. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. The night is over. We had a good time, like I said. Join me next week. I will be back 8:30 p.m. Eastern, as always. I'm waiting back. I'm waiting to hear back from my next guest. So I will not disclose that until the weekend. But I'm waiting to hear back and see what's going on. But anyway, gonna have a good guest or something nice for you guys as always next week. But until then, as always, you know what to do. Get out there, have a good time, rip your quads, break your quads, fix your quads, and always stay fly.
You can find me in the cut like blood. I'm in the cut like blood. I'm in the cut like blood. You can find me in the cut like blood. I'm in the cut like blood. I'm in the cut like blood.
Y'all. Swinton. Oh, no kidding? Okay. I be on my grind, no flex, no shining. Oh, yeah, baby, finna pull up rough beside him. They call me Siki, I was never one for hiding. And if the weekend tweaking, then on Monday I'll be riding. Fucking, flying, soaring, diving. Big drip skillet on my stove, I keep them frying. Lit shit, Millie off the rocket, top of dome. I was pulling from the back, but now I'm fucking on my zone, yeah. On deck, on the boat, kid is Captain Hook. Waves in the ocean cause commotion, finna steer.